Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
The Supernovas Radio Network is live. This is the Omaha Supernovas pregame show, brought to you by Mullen Motors.
Columbus, Ohio, Nationwide Arena, and there's lots going on in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Lots to talk about, plenty of tables to set, and quite frankly, being fluid as we possibly can be, because the Pro Volleyball Federation adjusts and changes by the hour. Currently, as we stay in DP, Coach Renee Saunders, Nick Sainert, Finn Draws, we will carry you through the next hour, get you all set up for Fury versus Supernovas, and then we will send you over to the app to get the in-game call. Of course, tonight CBS Sports will be in the building, and that is a huge story for the Pro Volleyball Federation. Changed some the way we do some of the things, the timing, but you folks will bear with us and get us through. Coach, we're at that moment now where every game has a little more meaning. Every game has a little bit more weight and pressure. Kendall White is unaffected.
Kendall is.
And it's just another.
She is straight vibing.
It's just another.
She just walked the catwalk.
Yeah, I can't hear Renee.
There we go.
Thank you, kind sir. Couldn't hear her. Yeah, it was a thing. So let's go through the Federation as it stands today. And it's an active day in the Federation with matches being played currently. There's a match being played in Grand Rapids between San Diego and Grand Rapids. They are tied at 1 in the third set. Mojo is currently leading third set 21-18. And it affects everything. It literally affects everything. So, Coach, the Vibe has clinched being in the Final Four. They've clinched the number 1 seed. I'm not sure what that means to the Vibe. They now have 2 weeks off. Their regular season is complete. Let's start with them. Mission accomplished. Great season, regular season, match, number 1 seed, and now you get to 2 weeks.
Yep.
To figure out what's the best way to maneuver 2 weeks when you're playing at the highest level. Coach, is that advantage or disadvantage to take 2 weeks off of the regular season to prepare to a one-and-done Final Four in an away city?
How many weeks do they get to prepare for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's the 2 weeks.
It's kind of similar, right?
It's the 2 weeks.
But if you look back, like when you're hot, I don't think you want to stop for 2 weeks. The last time they had 2 weeks off, Omaha swept them in Atlanta, the match straight out of the gate after that. So I'm assuming they're going to approach it differently than they did those 2 weeks, right? I mean, that's got to be something that's going to change. But heck yeah, they had an amazing season. They went 19-5, 10-2 at home, 9-3 on the road. They're on a 3-game win streak going into the 2 week break that they've earned. It is kind of a nice schedule for them, obviously, but having, I think, a 2 week off when you're the hot team, I don't know if that's an advantage or not. Personally, I'd want to keep riding the wave, but.
And they also have the added factor of international play, Olympic play, international teams pulling players into practice scenarios and actually tryout scenarios, which can take you out of your rhythm and take you out of, because how you play for Atlanta may not be what the requirement is for whatever national team you're competing for.
Well, in a fluid sport like volleyball, just having a different setter changes everything. So different tempos, different setters, different location, different size block. It changes how you do things. And when you're used to working with certain people in, the course of the season, you develop those relationships and partnerships and understandings that are natural, and then you change them, and then you come back. There's always a little bit of gray area that makes it a little bit tricky.
What does it say for the focus? Because pursuing championships is a singular focused thing. And it's not a convenient conditional thing. It's 24/7. And you now have players who are pulled out of their norm, out of their routine. with a different focus, a singular focus that is away from the team. How do you deal with that?
I don't like it. I mean, personally, I don't like it. It'd be like saying, you know, you have your best player and we're going to let them go do something else for, X amount of time and then come back. The chance of injury, chance of burnout, chance of something weird happening. Like it's too much uncontrollable, right? But then again, it's also a great opportunity, for those players. So personally, I don't know what to do. Just let them finish out their season with the PBF and then go from there. But I'm not the one making those decisions. That's a higher power.
Yeah, I whenever I hear the announcement that another player has been given the opportunity to compete on that level, I immediately think of you and say, Coach Saunders is just going to top of her head's going to pop off. It goes against the very nature of it.
There's a reason you should only be on one team at a time. I mean, it doesn't happen in any other sport, does it? I mean, did it happen with USA basketball? Has it happened? Is there any other sport where somebody goes from one team to another team in the same season, then back to that team?
Especially at playoff
at
time.
Championship time.
Right. Like they do it. They've done it for NBA where it was a mid-season kind of thing where they consider it like an all-star weekend break. For hockey, they did the same thing. Baseball with the World Cup, world sort of level, but nothing that directly fed into, hey, you're going to spend 2 weeks at tryouts and then go and compete in the Final Four. That's a lot.
That is a lot. It's a big ask for athletes that have been playing a whole season, too. That's the other thing you have to take into consideration. They've been playing for quite a while, and they've been training for quite a while, so they're really not getting a break. And so you would think that with that 2 weeks, you'd be able to get a break, and now those players are not getting a break. So that plays into it as well.
I was thinking recovery, right? That you allow yourself, but there's that. And then practices over the 2 weeks change because your rotation changes.
Right.
Different players are in the building. Adjustments that have to be made are affected. And then there are players who are busting a hump at the elite level who are now being asked to step up, step back, step up, step back.
Right.
And it seems to me like that would cause some issue.
It's a teeter-totter.
Yeah.
It's a teeter-totter. I'm glad I'm not on it.
It's just, again, interesting to watch from a distance and just go, wow, I'm not sure how I would handle it.
How many times but how often is the inaugural season of PBF going to overlap with an Olympic year? Right. I mean, there's obviously like outlier type situations that are uncontrollable. So you can look at it that way too.
Well, there's some advantage to the federation to be able to say you have those players in your rosters. That this is how it plays out. That we're at the Olympic level. We have Olympians. We have people that are playing on this level. But within the space that you're in for the fabulous 14 that exist in each of these cities, some of those players now, whether it be practice squad players, starters, sometimes starters, they now have to have different discussions with these coaches, especially for the number one seed. It just seems like an odd thing to ask. It's in play here in Columbus with O'Neal, and I found it interesting, right? That, wait a minute, they go on a roll. They go on a roll without her.
Yep.
And what does that say? What does that say to the players that are in uniform tonight? What does that say to the fans? What does that say to the opponents that, well, wait a minute, maybe it's not the thing that we thought it was?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things that we'll put it on for you, John.
Yeah, we got you covered.
His is more up to date.
Yeah, it is set point for Grand Rapids. Third set, 24-22. Grand Rapids to serve. It'll go to the floor. I won't give play-by-play because I'll get in trouble. I had to catch myself. Like I remember.
San Diego stays alive.
Yeah, 24-23 third set. So, as we're talking about it, right, that it's a big part of how this thing's going to play out because San Diego goes into that literally technically one spot behind Grand Rapids.
Yep.
With a win, they improve to 500 and move ahead of Grand Rapids, who sits at number 3 currently.
Yep.
Grand Rapids with a win stays at 500, pushes Mojo down to their 11th loss and 9 wins, and then opens the door for this Columbus team that's in the building tonight with 8 wins. The 9th win would put them in the 4th spot, and there's so much to talk about.
The middle is a mumble jumble. All I'm glad is we've clinched our spot in the Final Four.
We're there.
Right?
We're at the dance.
Like Atlanta's clinched number 1. Great. Enjoy your 2 weeks off. Omaha's in. Great. The rest of you figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll meet you there.
Yeah, well, you hate to have a party and lock yourself out. Like, you didn't want to have this thing come to Omaha and then not have Omaha in it.
No, we need to clinch.
Like,
we had to get in it.
And then it becomes the question, does it matter? I was talking to Gina on the flight out, and a couple of things were in play. One, if there was, as a player, is there a preference in who you match up against, right? She said, because it's tournament style rather than series style, that it doesn't really matter because it's one versus one. You have a day, you do well, good luck.
Right.
Things can go horribly left or right, depending on you, and it's about you.
Right.
But then the other side of it was, how do you, as a player or coach, kind of have somebody that you would rather see?
Thomas does.
Yeah. Well, right. Like, and in truth, the answer wasn't what we naturally thought it might be.
Not at all.
Right. 24 all.
Yeah, it's a ball game.
Yeah, you've got to think.
That whole match, though, like those are two, again, the middle is a mumbo jumbo because all the teams are so equal, and so, yeah, obviously Atlanta, hot team, top, done, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, Omaha has 4 matches left. We were only 2 games behind them in losses. We won the next 4, 17-7. That's a pretty close second place.
That was so that in the next segment, that's where I was going to go.
I was just helping you transition.
In the standings as they sit, everything in the bottom from 3 to 7 is interesting, and it'll change from hour to hour, from set to set even. But we'll talk about that, and then some of the remaining matchups, because Omaha sees Grand Rapids, they see Columbus twice, they see Las Vegas. Some of the matchups are pretty fantastic. We'll go through the matchups, the rest of the schedule going through, kind of as the standings exist, and then update you. They're 25-25 in the third set in Grand Rapids. I'm DP. Coach Renee Saunders here on the Supernovas Radio Network, powered by 93.7 The Ticket.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
high schoolers. Unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
The Supernovas Radio Network is live. This is the Omaha Supernovas pregame show brought to you by Mullen Motors.
Welcome back to Nationwide Arena. Home of the fifth line, Columbus, Ohio. Home of the Columbus Blue Jackets of the National Hockey League. And Coach, it's third set goes to San Diego. They lead 2-1 going into the fourth set.
27-25.
Man, extra free points everywhere.
Free volleyball. We love free volleyball.
Yeah, free volleyball. Of course, the doors have opened here in the arena, and we expect so the last time we were here was their first home match, and they drew 9,000 plus.
I know, and I missed it. I heard it was pretty fun.
It was fun other than the result.
We lost, I know. But it was a fun venue for volleyball.
Yeah, it was a fun arena. They put on a good show here. The staffing is great, and it plays a big part of it. Like, again, we now know more of the personalities and profiles of the teams in the Federation, Columbus being a team that's adjusted. Tough start, then they got on a roll after losing 9 in a row, and then figured out this roster looks different, but we'll talk about that in the next segment. The scheduling will have an impact on how this thing finishes up. Now, today, of course, San Diego's in Grand Rapids. Supernovas are here in Columbus. Tomorrow, the Mojo and the Rise will double up, go back to back. Now, I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
How is that even possible?
To play back-to-back like that?
To play back-to-back late in the season. Now, turns out it mattered because they're back-to-back in the standings. So, after tomorrow's match, it could have meant nothing. It could have meant everything. If somebody manages to win 2 in a row, your season has changed. If you lose 2 in a row, your season has changed. And Coach, of these two teams, again, they're head-to-head, pretty much in similar water right now. San Diego evolved.
That's putting it lightly.
Right? That's a different group. What is San Diego doing? What have they done to put themselves in a situation that they're one set away from actually almost putting themselves in a win-win? They go back-to-back. I think they're pretty set for Omaha.
Yeah, 100%. No, they're funny because, at the beginning, early on the season, we're like, is San Diego going to win a match, right? And then they upset, I think it was Grand Rapids, who was number 1 at the time. And then I really think that their confidence, I hate to say it, but I think the Supernova win in San Diego, the first time out there, gave them confidence. Because then they went on a 4-game win streak, something like that, 5-game win streak. Yeah. And they kind of were, all of a sudden, started to come into their own. They started to find their cohesiveness or chemistry, which when you're one of the later teams that come into the league, you get the players later. It was a very big Oregon roster, Oregon coach. So they had, you could tell they all reached out to who they could get to come and play, but they got one of the best setters in the world. And I think when you have a great setter, we talked about this the last pregame, when you have a great setter, your chances increase. And I think that that's something that obviously they've had to figure some things out. Like Temi Thomas-Ilara has been lights out for them. If you don't have a Temi Thomas-Ilara, then maybe the results are different. They've had a lot of players that have stepped up and really done some good stuff for them. Their libero has been phenomenal for them. So with those players stepping up, they've gone from last in the league to potentially being in Omaha in a couple weeks, which is, if you want to early vote for Coach of the Year, there you go.
Oh, the folks in Atlanta will come after you for saying that out loud. I'm just going to let you know that
process.
When we get to Vegas, I'm going to ask you for your all Federation team.
Oh boy, when are you going to ask me this?
When we get to Vegas.
I got till Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday to figure this out.
Yeah. Look, high five that I didn't spring it on you and just go. I'm giving you in advance an opportunity to plan and prepare. How about this? I'll even say first and second team.
I think it'd be easier just to pick 7 players and have the rest be mad at me. Because there's so many good players.
The rest are going to be mad at you anyway.
And we haven't talked. We're going to talk about it later, but I haven't seen Kendall Kipp play. I'm excited for this opportunity to be courtside, watch Kendall Kipp just do her thing because she is. I mean, they lost Asia O'Neal, but Kendall Kipp has made her impact when she come in. So, like, is there a requirement on how many matches you have to play to be on all?
I would think so.
I would too.
I would think so. There are folks that have been at it all year round.
Right.
Nobody's mad at Stephanie Samity.
Another big impact, right? Like two big impact opposites coming head to head tonight.
Here's the other thing, right? Right.
I don't like these. Okay, so I know that my thing says media, but I don't like making those decisions. Those are hard decisions.
I'm asking you as a coach.
Oh, okay. As a coach,
and as a fan,
okay.
Here's the easy way. That if you could build out of the Federation
roster.
The perfect Pro Volleyball Federation roster.
Okay. I'm on it.
Which means you cannot be wrong. There's no way for you to get it wrong. But also
100%.
In the days of social media, there's zero chance you get it right.
As a coach, I already don't get it.
Yeah,
there's
zero chance you get it right. But that's the thing, right? Okay, so this is what it is. Here's the other thing. Matchups will determine the season. San Diego will then go after their back-to-back there. They will host Columbus on Tuesday.
They have San Diego has a furious schedule at the end because they came in so late. Because remember, they didn't start play for how many weeks after everybody else?
And if they get it right, they've set themselves up. Just go on a run, play well at the end, right? Everybody tells you it's more important for you to be playing well at the end of the season. Well, here it is in full life form.
Yep.
That if they play the end of the season twice against Grand Rapids on the road, if you get wins on the road against the rival that you're playing against, then Columbus goes there, and then they go to Orlando, and then they come here. And I'm just like, as much as we said I questioned the schedule maker on the back-to-back. The fact that those 5 matches are all going to be
the same 2 teams.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Any projections on how you think it plays out?
Once again, 0% chance of being right.
Right, but you can't be wrong because it's your educated opinion.
I'm going to stick with Omaha being the number 2, Atlanta the number 1. I really think San Diego is going to find their way into it, and I have a feeling that Grand Rapids is going to find their way into it. Kendall Kipp, it'll be interesting. I want to see how tonight goes because I think Columbus could steal that last spot from Grand Rapids or from San Diego. I don't see Vegas making it in. They're just too banged up, but at the same time, their roster's so different. I won't know until we get there.
Yeah,
the game Monday will be interesting.
Well, results pending, and the professional aspect of it for everybody involved. Atlanta, the beauty of their number 1 seed is that, you know what? They're done. And you can't mess up the mentality behind it. You can't. Everybody else adjusts from night to night, player by player, trying to get healthy, stay healthy, and then get in a group. And they're going to have to crabs in a barrel.
Yep.
And the bottom 5 teams, and they're not the bottom 5 teams. They're just the 5 teams who are competing for 2 spots. That's the easiest way to say it. It's now a playoff from game to game. 5 teams
for 2 spots.
2 spots. That's the way to look at it, and it'll play itself. When we come back, we'll talk about this Columbus team the change in roster, a couple of 2 or 3 new players that come into it. We'll talk about who they are and how this thing plays out as well. DP Coach Renee Saunders here on the Supernovas Radio Network, powered by the Ticket FM.
Ironhide Construction is a Nebraska-based general contracting and steel construction firm. Their expert team is experienced in building innovative construction solutions across several industries. While they were previously known for their extensive experience in steel erection and metal buildings, they've continued to evolve over the last several years into a full-service general contracting firm. They take pride in their commitment to quality, cutting-edge technology, and having a passion for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosin. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Lincoln is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and actively involved in our community. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history. Property tax relief is important to every family, and I will continue to deliver more property tax relief to working families. This is Carolyn Bosin, and I am asking for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Bosin for Legislature.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through May 7th is buy one, get one free on New York strips, limit 4 per visit. Also $1 off all brands of honey. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The Supernovas Radio Network is live. This is the Omaha Supernovas pregame show brought to you by Mullen Motors.
Welcome back to Columbus, Ohio. DP Coach Renee Saunders, Nationwide Arena, Pro Volleyball Federation action. Saturday is for volleyball. And tonight, this is a good one. Columbus fighting to clinch its playoff spot. Omaha trying to lock down that number 2 seed for Omaha as well. Let's talk about the additions to Columbus and what's made a difference for them getting on a run in the second half of the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, most recently, since we saw them last, the biggest difference is Asia O'Neal left for the national team, and they picked up Kendall Kipp, a 6'5" opposite from Stanford, won national championship in 2021, 2-time All-American, 2-time Pac-12 Player of the Year, which is huge, and she's also one of those in the mix for that VNL roster, for the Olympic roster. She joined on the transaction list, had her joining on April 11th. So she's only played a couple matches, but she's been a big impact player in those 2 matches.
Through all of this, what does Kipp bring to the table? Aside from the accolades are there, but there's a style of play. One as an electric 6'5"
Terminator,
like blocker at the middle. Like, she does everything well on the floor.
Yep, she can hit back row, she can hit front row, she can block. I mean, when you have a national champion on your roster, it's kind of like when you have an Olympian on your roster. Like, they know how to win, right? So they bring that extra level of competitiveness, which Columbus already has, but now she's bringing more termination from a pin. Now, Asia O'Neal also brought that, but we all know the middles don't get set as much as the pins, right? So having
is that
a terminator.
Is that a federation thing? Is that a smart volleyball thing? What is that?
That is a passing thing.
Okay.
Part of it's a passing thing. Like, you have to pass well to be able to set your middles. I think Atlanta does probably the best job in the league of getting the ball to their middles. in transition especially, but then also out of service seat. But they have Morgan Hintz back there who can just put that ball right in the pocket left and right. And Kendall White's able to do that for us quite a bit too. Valeria Leone for Columbus. Columbus, I think I said this last time we played, they're a little Jekyll and Hyde, right? Like when they are good, they are good. Like there's not a lot of teams that can beat them. They beat Atlanta. 2 of the 5 losses Atlanta has are from Columbus.
Yep.
Like they're legit. But when they're off, they're really off. And so you've seen like both sides of this team, but both times the Supernovas have played them, they've kind of seen both. They lost the first time here, opener in their arena, 3-1. And then in Omaha, the last time they played, won 3-1. Omaha did. So this is the rubber match for the two teams. And when I asked Bird, what's the difference between last time we played Columbus, and she literally said Kip. So Kendall Kipp is like 75% of their offense right now. That's how much they're giving her the ball. So they're being really dependent on her. So I think like for the Supernovas to be successful, we've got to find a way to slow her down and make the other players do more, which Reagan Cooper, which we'll talk about when we talk about starters, but Reagan Cooper has been kind of that person for Columbus against Omaha in the previous 2 matches.
We will take 10 seconds, pause for the cause, station ID across the Supernovas radio network.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Again on the Supernovas radio network, Columbus, Ohio. Match play is just different when it comes to this caliber and this time of year. So add to it that, listen, it's elite players, and the rosters are being improved in whatever way they can. Practice players are now having to have impact in actual matches. And then this Columbus team that when you talk about their middles, you talk about their depth, they have bodies coming off the bench that will have impact tonight. Who are we looking for off the Columbus bench?
I mean, they've used Samantha Drexel, opposite from Maryland, Washington, has been a couple of years. She's come in, made an impact in previous matches versus the Supernovas. Tori Dilfer-Stringer, like we saw her the last time Columbus was in Omaha because Ray Santos, starting setter was hurting a little bit. And then Ortiz, I'm pretty sure, where am I finding her at? Yeah, Iviana Ortiz, she is that little DS that comes back and serves almost every single match in the end game. She's got that big topspin serve, and she knows when she goes in there, she's going in to get aces and hold serve, but they put her in towards the end. You might be able to see Michelle Barge-Hackley, who was on the U.S. national team before, I believe an Olympic gold medalist. They picked up her late. Jenna Rosenthal we saw last time in the middle. She's that tall middle out of Marquette. And then you just never know if Janasia Moore is going to pop in or not. We've seen her off and on throughout the season. So just really all systems go for Columbus right now.
Yeah, again, in a game that matters, everybody has their eyes on Omaha as well. Being the host, being the current number 2 seed, and kind of the season runner at number 2 as part of the standard of it. Yeah, everybody wants that notch on their belt that says we got Omaha. And if you can say you got them twice, it makes Final Four play, no matter what the matchups are, interesting. And everybody will have an opportunity.
Well, it is one of the, I mean, it's a big game. Like for Omaha, it's also a big game, but for Columbus, it's a like stay alive game, so it is your crabs in a bucket metaphor that, they're going to try to use the Supernovas to propel them up to a higher spot. And San Diego is starting to kind of take over the match in Grand Rapids. They're doing the same thing. They're trying to find a way to get into that top 4.
I just, here's what I'm amazed at before we go to break, that each of the coaches in the Federation have their own style. Angel Perez has done a pretty good job of not only navigating the ship, but then writing it and then making tough decisions on who plays and when they play. What is it about Coach Perez that makes them a playoff team?
I just think it's his international experience, being a coach for the Puerto Rican national team and just having that, like he's the only coach in the league that's been through a professional season, right? None of our other coaches, this is their first professional season. They've been through the NCAA college season, but none of them have been through a professional season. So managing the athletes, managing professionals, having all these All-Americans on the court at the same time, and then deciding what makes the best team and the best matchup for the other All-Americans on the other side of the court. So I think when you're looking at at someone who's very experienced, very poised on the sideline. He kind of hangs his hat a little bit on defense and, relentless effort from his littles. I think that kind of gives them the spark for what they need on offense.
We're going to throw the break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Supernovas, some of the reserve players, how they're doing, folks health-wise, get some updates as well. Talk about a little bit of the folks that we can have our eyes to when Coach Bird looks down the bench tonight to have an impact on tonight's on tonight's match here. DP Coach Renee Saunders, Supernovas Radio Network pre-match show brought to you by and powered by theticketfm.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design. Take a computer course. Learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you are passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
The Supernovas Radio Network is live. This is the Omaha Supernovas pregame show brought to you by Mullen Motors.
The Mobsters of Columbus, Ohio.
I love it.
The Mobsters. They, the folks who mop and keep the court maintained. They have monikered themselves the Mobsters. They wear the brimmed hats and shades even indoors at night.
And they had a little bit of swag.
A little bit. Yeah, no, that's old school game right there.
It was.
It is a final in 4 sets in Grand Rapids. The Mojo win the match 3-1. They have done themselves a huge service. So if we did the update ourselves, that moves them to 10-10. Now, again, when we were sitting in San Diego for that first match, the idea of this being a 500 organization was a reach.
A big reach.
A reach. They are at 10-10. Grand Rapids falls to 10-11, or 10-12.
10-12, yep.
So San Diego moves to 3rd, Grand Rapids to 4th, and then here comes Columbus, because if they win tonight, they're at 9-12 with an opportunity. So,
and then tomorrow, San Diego and Grand Rapids run it back.
They run it back. So again, short-lived. Short-lived. They enjoy. Well, this is one where you really say it's not only do you not have 24 hours to enjoy, you've got 18 hours to enjoy.
The game's like at 2:00.
Right. Like you've got a little time to turn around and make some adjustments.
That's crazy.
And they did it away from home. Like I would have said, if they were going to split, I would have thought Grand Rapids wins one, then San Diego wins the other. I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore, Coach.
This league blows my mind every time. I've learned that nothing's guaranteed. Nothing is ever guaranteed in sport, right? Like, I mean, like I gave it to example to like some of our soccer players. Like I always use with my kids too. Like you're the number 1 seed, but you know what? 8s can beat 1. That's why we play the game, because anything can happen, and that's the game of sport. And so the PVF is the game of sport. Anything can happen on any given night, and it doesn't matter who the 1 seed is, the 7 seed is, the 1 seed is, 4 seed is. Just throw all that out the window and hopefully just bring your best effort on game night and see what happens.
This is why we sit on the edge every pre-match, because we know it doesn't really matter what we think is going to happen.
Never happens.
No.
Never happens. Except for the only thing that's always guaranteed, we go 5 when Coach Saunders has to go to the bathroom. Every time. Every time. It's the worst part about this job.
Look, it's a thing of absolution that whatever can go, goes. That's just how it is, and we have to make do.
Always entertaining.
Let's talk about some of the players on the Supernovas side that we think will come off the bench and provide impact, or can provide some moments tonight for Coach Bird.
I mean, let's just start with our serving specialist and game specialist, Paige Briggs. She has been phenomenal coming in, not only as a hitter, outside hitter, having played defense, but she's also come in the hardest times where you have 23-23, 24-22, and she's being asked to close out the match for us. And I think so Paige Briggs will be one for sure we see. I hope we don't have to see her sub in for an outside hitter, but I'm more than comfortable with her coming in and running the show from the service line. And I'm not saying I hope we don't see her at the outside hitter position, but to me that means that Brooke or Betty are not playing well, and I hope they both play well tonight. So that's where that's coming. Not that Paige can't do it. I just really want the other two to do well.
You're such a coach.
It's so true, though.
You're such a coach.
But then we also, someone we haven't seen for a while, Mayfield, right? Little Terminator on the outside. She hasn't gotten a ton of opportunities recently, but that speaks to how well Brooke and Betty have truly been playing. They're kind of coming into their stride as we go into the end of the season. We saw some of Gabby Thompson for Kendall White. I think that's always on the table because sometimes, you just need to change the vibe of what's going on. And sometimes, I think Bird looks when Kendall just needs to take a breather and switches out with Gabby, and then she can always put Kendall right back in. But Gabby's another one off the bench. Now, Maggie Cartwright, I have a feeling is going to be our backup to Samity this evening. Jess has a little bit of a back spasm going on. She's not going to play tonight, so that's going to mix up the depth chart on the right side. So Maggie Cartwright, if Samity needs a break, I think is going to be next one in off of that. And then obviously Sophie Davis has been a rock star in the past couple matches that she's come in, and she's provided rest for Tori when she needs it, or Christina when she needs it, but she's also provided blocks for her team, and her offense has come a long way since the beginning of the season, and Bird's most excited about the fact that now she's starting to terminate as well. So having a little bit more depth in that middle position is vital to this team, and so as Sophie Davis comes along, so do the Supernovas.
Through all of this, rotational and starting rotation changes have happened. And then the reason behind it, the thinking behind it, is always fluid because everybody on the roster is talented and elite. When you make a change, sometimes it is a vibe, sometimes it's purposeful, sometimes it's out of need and necessity. Where do you think Coach Bird is making decisions from when it comes to where they are in the season, this match itself, right? Is this match more important than end game, or is this match the next step towards getting it right across the board?
I think that I basically asked Bird this question.
Yeah.
I'm like, is our lineup tonight the one that's going to win the championship of the PVF? She goes, in my gut, yes, it is. So she's preparing them for the championship, preparing them, getting them ready, getting them to the point where this is what she thinks is the best chance we have to win, knowing that we can sub in any of these other players if need be, in game. But she really wants to get going on that continuity side of it and get them used to playing with each other and start really gelling as a team as we head into the end. Because this week was their last week of of training, because we're here. We go to Vegas tomorrow. We play Vegas on Monday. We fly on Tuesday. They'll practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, leave for Grand Rapids, Saturday, play Grand Rapids, Sunday, come back Monday, practice Tuesday, semifinals on Wednesday.
Literally one day of practice before you head to Grand Rapids.
More than one before you head to Grand Rapids.
So
because we'll be back on Tuesday. So they'll practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we go to Grand Rapids on Saturday. We play Grand Rapids Sunday night.
Friday. Okay.
We fly back Monday. Some of us real early so we can get to school. And then
own that. Some of you are really. Some of me have a really early flight, so I could be in school by 9:15. Some of you are doing your
advantage of flying east to west. You kind of like travel in time a little bit.
All right, Coach. Grade the dancer. Did you see the dancer over there? Did you see Big Red was over there dancing?
It couldn't have been good.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to.
Ooh.
Yeah, they hit
mood
us.
lights.
Yeah, they're getting us.
Speaking of red.
Yeah, they're getting us. I keep forgetting that we're in Buckeye territory.
And it's graduation weekend.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere.
Proms are everywhere. There's tennis going on, baseball going on, and proms. So downtown Columbus is on fire.
It's popping.
Yeah, it's on fire. Through all of this, right? So we'll throw it to break and kind of maneuver around some of the goings on in the building. We'll talk about the starting lineups, Coach, and the keys to the match. And on a night where, again, it's the first time we're going to see Kip as a part of the Fury against the Supernovas, which is different. Her against Atlanta, her against Vegas is different than her against Omaha. And I think from a matchup standpoint, some of this is going to be pretty interesting. I'm super curious about the rotations and who you want to match up and how you think it's going to play out as the Supernovas take the floor. So we'll throw it a break when we come back to the Supernovas Radio Network. Coach Saunders, give us those starters on either side, how you think it's going to play out, and then keys to the match, those three things that we need to look for and then need to play out on behalf of the Supernovas. DP Coach Renee Saunders on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money in your meat and groceries. Now through May 5th, enjoy Cinco de Mayo specials. USDA choice skirt or flank steak for $9.99 per pound. Thin slice carne asada, $8.99 per pound. Party-sized Frito-Lays, $3.88 per bag. And 24 packs of Budweiser or Bud Light for just $17.99 each when you buy two. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
The Supernovas Radio Network is live. This is the Omaha Supernovas pregame show brought to you by Mullen Motors.
We're about 10 minutes from first serve here in Columbus, Ohio. Nationwide Arena, again, home of the Blue Jackets of the NHL. And tonight, the home of the Fury as they take on the Supernovas in a playoff important match. Like this, the seedings and the clinching of spots, getting yourselves playing well. Nobody wants to take a loss late in the season, especially somebody that they could see in the playoffs if things play out. Coach, let's talk about the starting lineup for the Fury and how you think it lays out.
I mean, I think we're going to see Megan Courtney Lush and Reagan Cooper on the outside. Reagan Cooper is the big one. She's had 39 kills in 2 matches against Omaha. She also leads the team with 302 points. And to put that in perspective, second is Megan Courtney Lush with 191 points on the team. Kendall Kipp just joined, obviously a little bit different what she's done. She's going to be at the opposite, but she had 20-some kills just against Atlanta in a 3-setter. So she's getting the ball a lot, and she's putting it away when she gets it. I think she hit like 378 in her 2 matches. In the middle now, since Asia O'Neill's out, Caitlin Hort is back to being in the middle along with Raynell Jones. And Raynell Jones has been in the whole time. She's just super athletic, bouncy middle. Same with Hort from Penn State, Nebraska. So their middle is very athletic, very bouncy. They don't set them a ton, probably as much as they probably could. Hort has 126 points. On the other end, I lost my girl. Draynell has 100 points. So they get the ball, not quite as much as the outsides, and then Kendall Kipp on the opposite. And then I think they're going to go with Rai Santos. She did great against Omaha the last time they were there. It looks like she still has that tape going on with her Achilles, shin, ankle. But she looks like she's moving pretty naturally. I don't think she is having too much of a problem, and her backup would then be Stringer. And then at libero, Valeria Leon, who just digs and digs and digs and digs.
She's so good.
She is.
She's so good.
It's funny because we talk about like if you were to take and like rank all the liberos, rank all the setters, it would be like fractions of separation because they all do certain things so well. So like when you want me to come up with this all-star team, I'm just like, there is just so many. I mean, you could go strictly by points, right? Set, assists, digs. But, like, there's other things that, like, people bring to a team. And liberos a lot of times go unnoticed for their cover balls they're picking up, extending rallies, like diving out, getting balls that nobody else can get to, covering balls out of the block, pursuing tips, taking second balls, set assists. I mean, it's just they do a lot, and that doesn't even count their communication. And the funny part is they don't even get a serve.
Yeah, it's I mean, for this group, what Cooper allows them to do, what Kipp allows them to do for Cooper, additional burden and stress, tough matchups at the net, identifying who's going to get fed and how often, spots on the floor, and then back row not being able to identify, but they got folks who can attack from the back. For the Supernovas, who do you think lines up for Coach Bird to start this thing off?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, Brooke Nuneviller and Betty De La Cruz have been playing lights out. Brooke has tallied 273 points for us, and Betty 270 points for us. Tori Dixon and Hristina Vuchkova in the middle. In the last, I forgot to say, Brooke Nuneviller has had 27 kills in our last 2 matches against Columbus. Betty De La Cruz had 26 kills in just our last match against Columbus. It was one of her 2 like crazy hot matches that she had. Tori Dixon in the 2 matches only has 4 kills, no blocks, and Vuchkova only has 8 kills and 1 block. So I'm hoping that they become more of a factor in this match. I think that'll make a big difference because we weren't getting a lot of production with them in either of the matches that we played Columbus already. Kendall's going to be back there at libero, leading the charge. At opposite, Steph Samity back in. She's only played 2 matches for us, and she has 35 points already. I mean, she has been a difference maker, kind of what Kendall Kipp has been for Columbus. It's kind of the same what Samity, and it's kind of weird because it's an opposite position. So in the men's game, the opposite position is very, very important. And I think in the PVF, the opposite position is also very important. And then setter tonight, Bird threw a curveball. We're going with Nadi Valentin Anderson tonight over Hilly. She said that they both had a great week of practice. She actually said the whole team had a great week of practice and got better at a lot of things. But her gut's telling her that Nadi's the right decision, and Nadi's who we're going to see tonight.
Why do you think Nadi is the choice?
I think there's two reasons. Number one, her experience, her international experience, her professional experience. And number two, I think just the ball she sets and maybe her court management, if that makes sense. So obviously she runs a little bit different tempo ball, which Hilly has been doing a great job also recently. And that's what Bird said. She's like, I think we could win it with either setter, but her gut is telling her Nadi. And when I have gut instincts, I get it 100%. Sometimes you can't put a perfect pulse on it, but if you have that gut instinct, you see them in practice every single day and they're super even, you go with what your gut tells you. And sometimes your gut and the stats might be a little bit different, but if you look at their performances all year long, one gets 56 set assists, then next week another one gets 61 set assists. And if we're looking for middle production, I think Nadi does a pretty good job getting the ball to middles. And I think matchup wise, Nadi has done well against Columbus.
Coach, give us your keys to the match.
Bird's keys, number one, is going to be the first contact. I actually got to talk to her this time, but I think that would have been my one anyway. Since last time when I didn't get to talk to her, that was definitely one of the big ones. But the serve and pass game is going to be really important. Win the long rallies. She has it number two, and that's going to come down to being a little relentless on defense, but then being able to terminate on those long rallies and get it over. And then finally, her new one, balanced and aggressive. I made her add the aggressive because you know how much I don't like tips and rolls without intentional purpose and aggressiveness. And so a balanced offense, work well as a team, and maintain our aggressiveness.
Columbus has made their move in the Federation with aggression. Aggressive serves, aggressive defense, getting in transition, trying to be quick about making the decisions, getting the ball to finishers. And I think finishing will be the word tonight. You'll have opportunities. Who can get it to the floor? Who can make the final play of each point in a way that is purposeful? Not waiting for errors, not waiting for missteps. The team that is aggressive with purpose tonight will come up with a win. Hopefully, that is, in fact, the Omaha Supernovas. That'll be it for us to set this thing up for you. Jump on over to the app, the Ticket app, the Supernovas app as well. It will be live on CBS Sports on television, so you can see it there. But if you want, come hang out with us here on the app and on the stream, and then we'll come back and meet you in the post-match, hopefully with some good news for the Supernovas here. I'm DP. Coach Renee Saunders, we thank you for hanging out for the pre-match. Saturday nights are for volleyball in Columbus, Ohio on the Supernovas Radio Network, powered by 93.7 The Ticket and the ticketfm.com.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice